Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order as it's 7 o'clock. I'm going to take attendance first. Councillor Cross, are you with us?
Yes.
Councillor Maxwell.
Present.
Councillor Olmsted.
Present.
And Councillor Shipman.
Yes.
Okay, so everyone's here. Does anyone have any written disclosure of pecuniary conflict of interest? Councillor Cross.
No.
Councillor Maxwell.
No, I don't.
Councillor Olmsted.
No, I don't.
And Councillor Shipman.
No, I don't.
Okay, great. So I can't see the screen because I see Sandy larger than life.
Yeah, I see you in the big picture.
No, I see Heather.
I had
And
the
now
same
Christine.
problem.
Yeah.
I had the same problem too. I can't see.
Does anyone see the agenda?
No.
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 No? Okay.
There we go.
Oops.
That's
Here we are.
because I got kicked out of the meeting.
There we go. Cool. Okay.
Oh,
All right, so item number 3, petitions, delegations, we have none. So item number 4 is reports from municipal officers. First item is from Chris Wally, Road Superintendent. I received a text from a while back saying he was sorry, but he couldn't attend tonight. Has everyone had a chance to look at his report? If so, are there any questions that we can get to Chris later for a response? Councillor Croft?
I was curious about the fitting on top of the injector pump. Is that like a factory defect, or was that like, do they have any
That's pretty-
idea how that broke? Because I mean, that is a pretty new truck to have that, and I mean, the expense was, wow.
Mhm.
And I'm also a little curious about why the retainer wall to the bridge, how that caused it to wash out. But Chris isn't here, which is a shame because I'm sure he's the only one who can answer those questions. Otherwise, I can wait.
Actually,
Thank you.
Chris told us about the retaining wall at the bridge, and the last year he told us about that. And the rock had washed away out from underneath of the wall. They're big cement blocks, eh? And caused the blocks to fall
Right.
into the creek. So this year, from the sounds of it in his report, they poured cement to give it a solid foundation and put the blocks back in place. But as far as that valve, I can't explain that one.
I can explain to you if you'd like, Iron, just a little bit.
Okay, go for it, Dean.
So the fuel injection pump had a fuel line which goes into it, and what ended up happening, it caused a low pressure because the injectors need pressure to open. So it blew a code right off the bat, and the truck wouldn't run, so we had to tow it to North Bay. So the fitting on the injection pump ended up splitting, and the part, they call it a non-serviceable part. So we weren't able to just order that flange that line bolted onto. We had to buy a whole injection. So we weren't very happy about it, but at the same point, we had no real choice but to buy a brand new, a complete injection pump. So our truck's over the warranty part, so that's how come we end up having to pay the piper on that one. I hope that answers your questions on that.
Thanks, Dean.
Thanks, Dean.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Councillor Maxwell?
No, I know, no, nothing.
Okay. Councillor Olmsted?
no, thank you. It was very thorough.
And Councillor Shipman?
No, thanks.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Next item on the agenda is a report from our fire chief, Dean Maxwell.
All right. Good evening, everybody. So I'll just start off with for the month of July. We had one call for the month of July, was on July 21st, 2021. We at 2153, we received the page for an RV on fire at 1556 Peddlers Drive. We showed up on scene with a pumper and 3 guys. It was fully engulfed. You could clearly see it from the fire hall. We showed up on scene, we went directly right to foam, and that's for all our vehicle fires, we go right to foam. Car fires are very toxic and they're very dangerous fires to fight with. And this one is no difference. This vehicle was actually propane powered, which even made it more dangerous. And we actually had the safety valves blow off while we were there. So it's not a big deal, but luckily the safety valves did their jobs and protected us. We had it knocked down within 20 minutes. And then we mostly had to just do a knockdown, keep it cooled off till it was totally out. As far as that goes, meeting nights, we've been doing the first one in July 1st was just canceled because of Canada Day. Everybody's enjoying the long weekend. With everything being lifted, we didn't have anybody around anyway, so we just decided to cancel that meeting. On July 8th, we did work at the fire hall. We just cleaned up around here and we did our truck checks and stuff like that. On July 15th, we did down firefighter drill, and then we serviced our gear, or serviced our equipment. Down firefighter drill is actually when we practice in-house, and that's the #1. Heart attacks is like the #1 killer firefighters. So it's actually a neat drill where the guys go down and we actually pull a guy out of their gear like in a minute flat, and we go right to CPR on them, and we were able to hook up the AED machine. So what they end up doing is ripping all the buckles open, and they just grab him by his boots and they slide him right out of all of his gear. It's pretty neat to see, but it's something that's good to practice because, you know, we never know if something's ever going to happen like that, so we want to be prepared. On July 22nd, 2001, we debriefed our calls, and we had a request to fill a swimming pool on Highway 630. We did 2 loads there with PT2. On July 29th, we put some of our new gear that we've received, we had in 2001 budget, we've received it, and we've marked it and put it on our truck in the service. And we also, that same night, we filled that same swimming pool. We went back and they purchased another 2 loads, and we went there with PT2 as well. So for fleet status report, the trucks are going this month, the 20th of August. They're actually going for their pump test, so hopefully everything goes good there. I don't foresee any problems there. All the trucks are pumping really well. We had them out the other night. And I had in-service come in. We had some alterations done to our gear. Our gear was never marked. So we had actually in letters in the back of the guy's coats now, it actually says Calvin Fire Department. Usually we have like a badges or something, and they're just really hard to put on. So we just decided to go to just a Calvin letter on site. And that's just so when we're on highway calls that people can identify who we are. We're getting lots of new OPP officers in the area. So it's good that they know where they are, which fire department's on scene, right? And from our end, it's a little pride too, you know. We like to let everybody know we're on scene. Besides that, that's everything I have for this month. Is there any questions? Or?
Any questions? Nope, doesn't look like. Thanks very much.
Christine?
Christine has a question.
Right,
Christine.
Sorry. The trucks that are having the test in August.
Yeah.
Is there like a charge for that, or like how does that work?
Yeah. So every year we're mandated by the NFP standards to have our pumps tested, but it's also we do it for liability issues, because if we don't have the trucks pumped tested every year, and if they were ever to fail and we didn't have them tested, the township would be held liable and could possibly be sued for not providing up the standard trucks. We have Jacques Thibault, which has been doing our trucks for the last, 20 years. his family's like third generation pump builders. He's a very knowledgeable guy. And we do that over in Papineau. So we share that same service pump test with Papineau as well. So there is a cost to it, but it's one of those things. It's worked into our running cost. Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yeah. No, and it keeps our trucks up to standards, right? And that's important as well, right? So anything we come across during pump test, then he'll make recommendations, and then we'll have them fixed or whatever we need to do.
Great. That was it for me.
I don't want to miss anyone. So, Councilor Cross, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Councilor Maxwell?
Questions?
Councilor Olmsted?
No questions, and thank you for very, very, very good work.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Dean.
Thank you, guys.
Next item we have on the agenda is Jacob Grove, Recreation Landfill and Cemetery.
Hello.
Hi, Jacob.
So we've been doing the ongoing ground maintenance. I mean, grounds maintenance has been ongoing. We had the issues with one of the whippersnippers where we believe it was a plug that fouled. I had planned on replacing it when all the parts were supposed to come in the end of this week to fix the steering that I told council about last month. We had a belt blow on the bagger system for the zero turn. Well, not blow, but wear out. So I went to pick up a belt for it on Friday. And when I did that, I picked up a spark plug and was able to try that out in the whippersnipper, and it did indeed fix the problem. The change rooms, change rooms, the washrooms in the rink building, and the rec storage / shop has all been painted. The hockey nets have been re-welded and painted, and the nets have been restrung in preparation for the winter skating season. There's been no issues to report at Smith Lake Boat Launch or the Amabdefo Public Access, and the garbages have been removed as needed. We've sent out 5 metal bins now. The last one should go out today or tomorrow morning, and then once the ditching is done, I'm hoping to be able to fill up one last culvert the end of this month, or one last bin with the culverts the end of this month, and have the metal bit area all cleaned up for this year. There was a burial over the weekend. We had a bit of an issue with not enough space between monuments. Fortunately, one of the plot owners allowed us to move the headstone to make room for us to open the grave. And everything went well with the burial after that was taken care of. Regular maintenance has been ongoing at the cemetery with no issues to report. And all of the monuments that fell over during the fall or over last winter have now had their bases leveled and have been put back upright. For municipal enforcement, we've had 2 dogs reported to be at large by their owner. No cases were opened as the owners are making an effort to retrieve the dogs themselves. And both owners were advised to come in and pick up one of our free tags to help us identify the dogs if we ever do come across them. The clerk and myself have been working towards a Calvin Flyer insert that would inform residents about the free tags. Currently, the tags are the only way that we have to identify the dog owners, and it's the most cost-effective way for us to get the dog back to the owner, and it saves the owner the cost of going into the Humane Society and getting their dog back. We're just waiting till the office is back at full staff to put that in flyers, so hopefully in September or October at the latest we'll have that go out. And that's all I have. If there's any questions.
Councilor Cross, any questions for Jacob?
I was just curious, is there a significant amount of garbage being collected at the river? And if so, have you been keeping track of how much?
Yes, so far we've taken 1 bag of garbage from the river, and with this hot weather, I would expect the end of this week I'm probably going to have to empty it again. And I have been tracking the garbage for the report to give to council on the garbage collected at the access at the end of the season.
Perfect, thank you.
Any questions, Councillor Maxwell?
No questions.
Thank you. Councillor Olmsted, any questions?
No questions. Thank you for fixing up the cemetery. That's really, really nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Councillor Shippen, would you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Jacob.
Thank you.
Next item is a report from Shane Conrad, our CBO. Looks like July's been a pretty slow month. After that, we have action letters, and A is to adopt the minutes of Tuesday, July 27th, 2021 regular council meeting. So I'll need a mover and a seconder to do this, please. Councillor Maxwell, could you move this one, please?
Can't hear you, Dan.
Well, maybe he's lagging.
Are you able to move this one, Councillor Maxwell?
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
Yes.
And could you second it, Councillor Olmsted?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So we have this resolution moved by Councillor Maxwell and seconded by Councillor Olmsted that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held on Tuesday, July 27th, 2021 be hereby adopted and signed as circulated. Any discussion or comments? Councillor Olmsted?
No questions.
Okay, Councillor Shippen?
No, no questions.
Councillor Maxwell?
No discussion. My internet's really bad tonight.
Okay, thank you. And Councillor Cross?
Nothing.
Okay, so I'm going to call for a vote on the acceptance of the minutes of the July 27th regular meeting. Councillor Cross, do you vote yes or no on accepting these minutes?
Yes.
Councillor Maxwell, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Councillor Olmsted, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
And Councillor Shippen, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, I vote yes as well, so this resolution is carried. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is a report from the clerk treasurer. Report 2021 CT 39. It's a Castle Home update. The internet's really bad tonight, eh? Everybody's lagging.
It is.
Okay. I'll read this, I guess, just so that everyone's aware. So on July 22nd, the Castle and Board of Management passed a resolution that directed the Chief Executive Officer to take the necessary steps to organize and to secure the necessary financing for the immediate development of Castle Home. At this time, it is unknown what this will actually mean for the member municipalities and for Calvin. It is estimated that this will be in the form of a levy, but we don't know the time frame for the levy, over how many years, or if it's all up front. is unknown at this time whether we still have access to the Infrastructure Ontario boring deal or not, okay, because we're one of the ones that signed the guarantee. The board was looking for unanimous resolutions from the supporting municipalities to bore up an Infrastructure Ontario with a full municipal guarantee. The board has not received unanimous resolutions at this time. The Castlehome team had a meeting with Infrastructure Ontario this Monday, July 26th, to discuss the next steps. It was noted that any financing plan proposed by the board for the project is submitted to approval, is subject to approval by the Ministry of Long-Term Care. An update will go through our project manager ASAP, similar to other updates provided to member municipalities. Our request for an update was submitted by email on Tuesday, August the 5th. There's been many articles issued in the past couple of weeks regarding this issue in the media. The information contained in these articles has not been confirmed by the Castlehome Board of Management. So we continue to work on the exit agreement with our municipalities and our solicitor. So really, the announcement was made that they were going to levy us, but we've heard nothing since then. We don't know if it's a one-time levy, if it's a monthly levy, if it's a 4-year levy, if it's a 25-year levy, no idea. And the rumor is, and again it's a rumor, that has to be approved by the Ministry of Long-Term Care, and no one's talking. That's the update. That's all we know. No one's providing us further information, even though we are requesting it.
Mayor Pennell?
Yes.
We just lost Councillor Maxwell.
Oh, jeepers. Okay, we'll give him some time to come back, okay? It's 7:22 now, so we'll give him 5 minutes. How did you notice that? I didn't see him going away.
I have everyone called up on one screen so I can see when.
Oh, okay.
Where did you disappear to, Cindy? You're just a telephone number now.
You probably don't have the box big enough. You have to make sure that the box is big enough to incorporate everybody.
Well, you're just a phone number.
No, there should be an image there as well.
Oh, there you are.
Okay, so how do you make the box bigger?
Go to the corner of the black box and pull down.
Oh, side by side.
You can also go to the top of the screen where there's a little minus sign, a bunch of checkerboards. Pick the one that has the most checkerboards.
So you hit the
There you
minus
are.
sign first?
I got it.
No, don't hit the minus sign. That'll shrink everything. Just hit the checkerboard looking thing.
So hit the Rubik's Cube.
Yes, there you go.
Oh, that didn't work out.
Well, then
I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now.
Can you see this on my screen or no? Can you see everybody on my screen?
No.
No.
All I see on the screen is your report of council.
No, okay.
I just went and hovered my mouse over the top of the corner of the black of my laptop, and then a view comes up, and I picked the most.
Okay.
and each corner, bottom corner, seems to have little hashtags in it. So if you hover over that and pull on that, that's what stretches everything.
Okay.
Only took me
Looks like
5 to 6
Dan
minutes
might
to
be
get
There's
that.
Dan.
I just switched devices. I don't know. I was having a problem. I'm hoping this device will be better.
Okay.
I'm on my now. I was on a computer. Try.
Okay.
Sorry
All right.
about that.
So,
Rain, I
did
think.
you hear the Castlehome update, Dan?
No, I couldn't hear it. No, I didn't hear it.
Okay. Basically, there's not really an update. The Castlehome announced the the Board of Management announced assigning a levy to us a few weeks ago. The rumor is that has to be approved by Ministry of Long-Term Care. We've made requests to Castle Home for additional information, but we haven't received any yet. So we don't really know what's happening. We've been asking questions, but nobody's responding, so we don't have an update. And that's the update, that we don't have any additional information.
Thank you.
Okay. So next item on the agenda is report from the clerk treasurer. It's 2021 CT 37, maintenance on seasonal roads, unassumed road allowances, or private roads. Okay, so I'm going to read this again. Well, not again. I'll just read it out this time. So, recommendation is that no specific maintenance is required on Stewart's Road at this time. The municipality performs maintenance on all roads when required, and as per the minimum maintenance standards set out by the province. Requests for year-round maintenance on seasonal roads, unassumed road allowances, and private roads should follow bylaw 2017-015. Property owners who wish to perform maintenance on seasonal roads or unassumed road allowances be required to enter a road agreement or contract agreement, depending on the season, with the municipality. Background for this, there'd be multiple requests. There have been multiple requests or complaints from one property owner made for the maintenance to be done on Stewart's Road over the past number of years. Stewart's Road is a seasonally maintained road, and maintenance is only done between June 1st and October 1st, as per bylaw 2016-20. No winter maintenance is performed on the road. There has been one complaint received at this time frame for all other seasonal roads combined. Please see the attached photos. There's some photos here that we'll look at in a minute. Please see the attached photos of most of the seasonal maintained roads in the municipality of Calvin and the condition of these roads from July 29th to support. A bylaw was developed in 2017 for a procedure for property owners who wish to request year-round municipal road service on existing gravel seasonal roads, unassumed road allowances, or private roads, and it was bylaw 2017-015. This bylaw was based on other bylaws written by other municipalities. These attached, for example, is one from the North Frontenac bylaw. If property owners wish to perform the maintenance on seasonal maintained roads and/or unassumed road allowance, they will need to enter into a road agreement or contractor's agreement with the municipality to be able to do so, as a seasonally maintained road and/or the unassumed road allowance is a property of the municipality. Any unauthorized maintenance done on a municipal road, a seasonal road allowance, or otherwise, will be considered trespassing, trespass to Property Act. There is also a concern regarding unauthorized maintenance being a potential of future liability. As per our solicitor, if work carried out by a private individual without authority and monitoring by the municipality, then accidents could occur which cause not only property damage but also personal injury. This would likely result in both the private property owner and the municipality being sued. And if it was shown that the municipality knew the work was being done by a private individual and did not stop that from happening, then likely the municipality would be considered negligent and responsible. In addition, there is also a concern for public safety on municipal roads. The municipality is responsible to ensure public safety. If council would like to upgrade any seasonal maintained road to a fully maintained road, please consider that other requests from property owners may be received. The municipality has already received inquiries as such. There will also be a cost to the municipality to upgrade these roads in terms of the material costs as well as staff time to receive the request and perform the upgrades. So below that, you can see some pictures. There's one there of Stewart's Road. And the next one, I believe, is also Stewart's Road. Are you moving it, Cindy?
I am.
Okay. We're still stuck on, oh, there's another one. That was Stewart's Road up at the top end.
The first 4 pictures are Stewart's Road.
Okay. There's another one.
Who took the pictures?
Multiple council members.
This one here, is this Pratt's Road? Yeah, it is. Okay, sorry.
And the road superintendent. The photos are from multiple council members and the road superintendent.
Well, it's a collection of a number of photographs of different seasonal roads throughout the municipality. Is that for that, is that all for that one, Cindy?
That's all the report, yes? Do you want me to pull up the motion?
Yes, please. Okay, so, I'm gonna look for a mover and seconder of this, and then I'll read it, and then we can have some discussion on it. Councillor Cross, can you move this one, please? Oh, Councillor Cross not with us.
You're on mute.
Yeah, I'm here, sorry.
Can you move
Yeah,
this one,
I
please?
can move it.
Okay.
Yep.
And Councillor Shipman, can you second this one, please?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so we have this resolution moved by Councillor Cross, second by Councillor Shipman. I gotta move this out of the way here. Whereas Stewart's Road has been inspected by the road superintendent regarding the concerns brought forth from a property owner on July 28, 2021. And whereas the municipality of Calvin performs maintenance on all roads as required, and as per the minimum maintenance standards set up by the province of Ontario, in most cases exceeding them. And whereas requests for year-round maintenance on seasonal roads, unassumed road allowances, and private roads should be following the existing bylaw 2017-015. And whereas property owners who wish to perform maintenance on seasonal roads or unassumed road allowances themselves should enter into a road agreement or contract agreement, depending on the season, with the municipality, as seasonal roads and unassumed road allowances are municipal property. Be it resolved that Council hereby acknowledges that no additional maintenance is required on seasonal road at this time. Further be it resolved that requests for year-round maintenance follow bylaw 2017-015. Property owners who wish to do maintenance on seasonal roads or unassumed road allowances are required to enter into a road agreement or contractors agreements, depending on the season, and any additional requests for maintenance will only be entertained if deemed necessary by our road superintendent. And further be it resolved that individuals who perform road maintenance on municipal property without appropriate consent will be considered in violation of the Trespass to Property Act and therefore guilty of an offense, and appropriate steps will be taken to seek retribution. So this is open for discussion or comments. Councillor Olmsted, would you like to proceed?
Sure. I understand. I want to know the what contractors agreement meant. Well, who would that be? I don't understand contractors agreements.
I believe that's for, like, if you wanted to do an upgrade to the road, you'd have to, okay, I'll let Cindy explain that one.
Essentially, if you were doing maintenance on the road in the summertime, that's when typically the municipality would be doing maintenance on the road. So essentially, that person would be acting as a contractor for us. And so instead of entering into a road maintenance agreement, they would enter into a contractor agreement.
And that work would need to be approved.
Yes.
Okay. So my concerns with this is it's been an ongoing problem for a long time, but if maintenance isn't done during the winter, we are always liable. It doesn't matter if it's a seasonal road or not. We have 2 full-time residents going down there and full-time drivers going down there. It's a very busy road, although it's the best seasonal road. But yeah, there's always people driving down there all year long. And the only people that can do a proper job is us, because we know the standards. Our road supervisor knows the standards. And I thought since we already gave them a building permit to build full-time resident down there, we kind of got to take ownership of that. There are no full-time residents living on any of the other seasonal roads, is there?
I'm not sure about Fred's Road. I don't know who lives there.
Gated Road was nice. I never been down there before. That's a nice road. But that's my opinion on that.
Okay. Thank you. Councillor Maxwell.
Hope you can hear me okay.
Yep,
I'm having a
sound
real
good.
problem tonight with the internet. Okay. I just have a few things similar to what Heather said, that it is a high traffic road. And I'm concerned that the amount of traffic on there, that we have to give it a bit more maintenance than the typical seasonal road that we have. I mean, I respect Chris's opinion on the position. He's judging it based on that it's a seasonal road. And for a seasonal road, it probably is in pretty good shape. But the problem that I have is it's not really being used as a seasonal road. The tracks that are on the road are mostly car tracks, and there are some ATVs, but the other seasonal roads, you notice they're mostly ATV tracks on the other roads, and they're not as wide. Stewart's Road is very wide just because of the constant traffic that's going up and down. And the mail lady's going down there to 2 mailboxes on that road daily, summer and winter. And it's used a lot. So I think that we should give it a little bit more maintenance than the other seasonal roads. I don't think it fits into the standard seasonal road we have. It's a unique situation that we have in Calvin. It's a seasonal road, but it's got, I think, almost 5 properties on it. And I know that at least 2 of them plan to build houses on that property as well. Right now, the planning board, there's a severance to cut off the front half of that lot, that first lot going in there. And so there's definitely going to be more development in there. Now, there is the opportunity that they can come out onto Homestead Road, but I think that it's safer if they come in off a side road and there's only one entrance, rather than that curve that's there. It's quite sharp, and I'm not a road expert again, but to me, it would make sense that we'd have them coming out of mostly one entrance, like Booth Road, for example. The residents coming out of this one entrance and not coming out of multiple entrances on that corner, just because you can't get a building permit. Well, I guess you can get a building permit on a seasonal road, but because they choose to do it that way. And the other thing, having one person, we don't have anybody that's looking after that road in the winter, and I just feel we're a bit more liable for that road because usually one person is going to sign the road agreement, but we don't have anyone on this road. But that one person is responsible for other people using the road as well. So he or she may clear the road, but they'll find that other people are going down there. So it's being used by the general public, and yet it's still just a seasonal road. I think we have to almost have a different category for that road, a seasonal plus road or something like that, where we give it a bit more than we give the other roads. There's a bit of washout at the top of the road, I noticed. Maybe it needs some ditching up there, but I'm not a road expert, and I'm not questioning any work that our roads department do. They do a great job, and I understand they're looking at this because they think it's a seasonal road. I'm saying it's a bit more than a seasonal road because of the residents that are on there. And we're applying the minimum standards to it, and that's fine. Everyone's doing their job. I'm just thinking as a council, we have to make decisions here that protect our residents, and we have to make sure that all the residents are protected, especially the ones that are, well, not especially, but the ones that are on that road as well. They have to be included. I just feel that something's going to happen down there because there's so much traffic and so much activity going on that there's going to be an incident down there, and we're definitely going to end up in court for it. We did allow people to build down there before they had a words agreement in place, and so that's kind of our responsibility that we did that. We should have done that happen years ago before any of us were here, but people down there have a right to live down there, and they've gone without a roads agreement for so long that I think we had some advice legally that said it's pretty hard for us to force them into a roads agreement right now. So, but I know we're not talking about that time. We're just talking about summer maintenance and getting some gravel on there. But I'd like to see that road kept up to a higher standard, or at least to have the gravel on there that's similar to that's on Gated Road, for example. Gated Road has lots of gravel on it. It's narrow, but it's got a good base on it. And the other thing is that, I always think of this. There's a bridge at the end of that Stewart's Road. Today, if we were to build that bridge, it would be probably $1 million. So in our past councillor somewhere, someone decided to put a bridge down there because they thought it was that important, this road. I just can't imagine what they would think of, and we're here, we're saying, we're not gonna put some gravel on that road, or they're not getting ditching, they're not getting anything. It's just, I can't imagine how we would have a conversation with our forefathers on that one. But I think it's our responsibility to make that road as safe as it can, because only our roads department can guarantee that a road is safe. And that's why I would like our department to make sure that we can keep that road as best as we can, but closer to a year-round road and not so much as a seasonal road, because it's not being used as a seasonal road. That's all I have to say.
Councillor Shipman, do you have anything you'd like to bring forward?
Well, I don't believe that we need to do anything with Stewart's Road. Yes, there's 2 families living on it. So in my mind, that means that even if both adults work, that's only, and each of them drive their own vehicle, so that's 2 vehicles from the very far end and 2 vehicles from the front end that are coming up the road each day. There isn't a lot of traffic on that road. And if by traffic you mean the excavator that he drives up and down the road, then maybe he should float it. Maybe we should be doing load restrictions for vehicles on seasonal roads, to say that because it is a seasonal road, we can't have all of this commercial equipment running up and down the road 4, 5, 6 times a day. If it needs to be running up and down the road, then maybe it needs to be floated. Maybe there should be permits for running commercial equipment up and down the road. I don't really know how that, it should be pulled off, but again, I don't believe that any work should be done on this road. It looks fine the way it is. They knew it was a seasonal road when they went to build their property 20 years ago. And nothing's changed. They knew that they had to maintain the road themselves in the winter if they wanted it plowed, but it's a seasonal road, so there should be nobody living permanently on a seasonal road. The person that was doing the plowing before had a road agreement, as far as I know, and that person passed away. Now they have to plow the road themselves. That's where this issue seems to be coming from. So I'm not in agreement that we have to upgrade the road. And our bylaw says that if the road needs to be upgraded or they want to make it a permanent road, that the proponents are the ones that are paying for it, not the township.
Councillor Cross.
My number one thing is that we should be following our bylaws. If we have them, I mean, counselors in the past created them. Counselors in the present should be following them as well. It's hard to compare one seasonal road to some other ones when there is way more usage on those roads. It was concerning to see the tracks from an excavator when I don't believe our road super has gone down there with an excavator. I was very curious as well to why Stewart's Road was so much wider than all of the other seasonal roads, and how did it get that much wider, which probably would mean we would have to use more gravel on that seasonal road. The water at the top of there's been water through some of the other ones as well. With the amount of water we've had this year, I've got the damage going down my own driveway as well. I think that the main thing is we need to be following our bylaws. Historically, it's always been a seasonal road. choices that are made by residents aren't always the responsibility of the municipalities. That's pretty much all I can have to say.
Okay, thank you all. I'll say what I feel, I guess. I agree that it is a seasonal road, no matter how much traffic is on it. There might be more traffic on it because there's a business located on that road, I'm not sure. I did see tracks from a lugged machine at the top of Stewart's Road, and municipality doesn't own a track machine, and so that wouldn't be ours. We have, that road is considered a seasonal road, and there are standards for a seasonal road. The road superintendent goes and looks at it. We all took a look at it one night, or at least most of us did. And I think the report at that time was that the condition of the road was a mess, and when I viewed it, it was not that way. So the road superintendent, we hired him for a reason, to look after our roads, and he has the expertise to know when a road needs gravel, or when it needs to be ditched, or when it needs to be brushed, and that has been happening over the past years. No road gets brushed every year, or, I think the gravel also is applied to different roads at different times over maybe a 10-year period or whatever. So I'm in favor of this resolution, that the maintenance will be carried out when the road superintendent thinks that it needs to have work done, that's when it's done. So I think everyone's had a chance to state their opinion. So I'm going to call for a vote on this resolution. And I'll go with, Councillor Shipman. Can I get your vote? You vote yes or no to pass this resolution?
Yes.
Okay. Councillor Olmsted, do you vote yes or no to pass this resolution?
No.
No? Okay, thank you. Councillor Maxwell, do you vote yes or no on this resolution? No.
No.
Councillor Cross, do you vote yes or no on this resolution?
She's not here.
Okay, we'll give her 5 to come back, the same as we did for Councillor Maxwell. I think it's a really bad night with overcastness, and it was raining pretty good a while ago. I don't know if it shows or not.
It's a light drizzle now.
Mm-hmm. I had to switch to my data. I was on a computer, then I went to my iPad, and it kept glitching out. So I cut off the Wi-Fi, and now I'm okay, it seems. It's frustrating though.
Very.
So now I lost half my papers. I had to move around a few times trying to.
Let's see Sandy coming back. Oh, there she's there.
Where'd everybody go? I don't see anybody.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you well.
Oh,
There you are. Poof, voila. Are you back? Maybe you don't want to have video. Oh, there you go again. Okay. So you're back now?
I think so.
So we're partway through
Yes,
this resolution.
I hope so.
I had called a vote on this resolution, and you were up next. And as you can see,
Okay.
the vote's ahead of us. So Councillor Cross, do you vote yes or no to accept this resolution?
Yes, I accept this resolution.
Okay, and I vote yes as well. So this resolution is carried. Thank you very much. Okay, so next item on the agenda is reports from our municipal engineer. And I've seen Mr. Boucher there a while ago. He's still there.
I just put my camera on Mr. Mayor, so hopefully everybody can see me.
Yes.
Did you want me to take over at this point?
Yes, please, if you would. Thank you. I think everyone's... Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. So good evening, Mr. Mayor and member of council. This is the report regarding the bridge guide rail improvement. The section under background just provides a little bit of the publication and what we did. So the document itself, we placed an advertisement on the North Bay Nugget on July 17th, and the RFP was submitted to 4 contractors, mainly people that are from the area that you know, do or work within that business. The RFP closed on the 28th and was open at 12:20 via Zoom meeting, obviously this time at the municipal office. And you had the clerk treasurer Cindy Pijot that was there, as well as the road superintendent Chris Wally, and you also had Dan Jackson from Centennial Contracting that was there, I believe, online. In this particular case, there was 1 RFP received and no addendums were issued. Under the analysis, I'd like to maybe enlighten a little bit council in a sense that the contractor that submitted the bid acts quite a bit in as a subcontractor in the field. So they're experts when it comes down to installing guide rails. If you work with some of the larger contractors, they're often seen as a sub. I have actually at the present time 2 or 3 other works, and they actually were the sub for those other contractors. One other thing, however, that happened is the fact that the price we received, as you see, at 195, 695 plus HST, you know, for all 3 bridges was above budget. So it gave us a little bit of a we had to do a little bit of an analysis to see what can we do. In this particular case, what we're proposing to council is that there are some components that we can do. They were, because it's an RFP, a request for proposal, there were some items that were identified. For instance, the Wally Bridge, the concept was to provide a price to give a certain type of guide rail. That type of guide rail is actually more expensive. So there's alternatives. Being an RFP, we do know that we can look into alternatives in order to reduce the costs. The concept of the report submitted to council tonight is to authorize staff to proceed with the contractor, in this case Centennial Contracting, which is the only contractor that submitted the bid, to work out further details into reducing the scope of the work. So I just identified one of them where work from the Wally Bridge. There would be a reduction, not a reduction, but there would be an alternative to the guide rail system that we'd be looking at. Something to explain as well, those 3 bridges, one of the items that would identify under the OSIM is the inspection that we do on a biannual basis of the bridges. One of the issues that was identified was the level or the standard of some of the attenuation barriers. So as you drive towards a bridge and you can get into an impact, they were identified as obviously substandard. So what we would be looking at is alternatives. There's always a bit more of a concern on the entry. I'm going a little technical, but just simply to say, there's always a bit more concern on the entry point as to the leaving end. So the concept is to discuss a bit further with the contractor to evaluate and basically work within what is on budget. Another thing to mention was the Crosses Bridge. The 3rd bridge is actually quite a smaller structure. It's about 8 some meters long. So it's quite a narrow structure. One of the things that I'd like to evaluate is whether or not we want to put some sort of a cautionary speed reduction. In a sense, basically, some of those roads are not Wally. Actually, there's a reduction speed on Wally, but on Crosses, by default, the speed of the road would be assumed to be a certain speed. So there's alternatives that we can do, and once we evaluate and we come up to a resolution to prioritize Wally Bridge, Crothers Bridge, and potentially see what can we do with Crosses, then the concept is to continue those negotiations with Centennial Contracting. They're quite reputable, and in order to work within budget and to carry the tasks or as much as the task as intended. Obviously, once complete, then we will continue with a signing of an agreement, and once the agreement is signed and so forth, then there's the question of obtaining all of the health and safety WSIB documents that we have and that we need. Further to that would be liability insurance and so forth. So for tonight, the report presented is in order to ask for council through the resolution that you'll see to authorize staff, inclusive of the of Cindy Pijot, her treasurer, and the road supervisor, I don't want to miss that, superintendent, Chris Wally, and myself as well.
Okay, thank you, Antoine.
Mayor Pennell,
Yes.
we've lost Councillor Cross again. Just ask
Oh,
me for the
gee.
phone number so she can call in. So before you move forward, can you just wait a few minutes, please?
Yep.
My internet said it was unstable as well. I know it might be inconvenient, but should this be another night? I don't know.
I'm about to lose my Cracker Jack. Okay, I'm here.
I know Christine's gone.
Oh, seriously?
I don't think I'm gone.
Oh, you said you were losing yours. So sorry, I don't see you anymore. There you are. I just,
Okay, I'm good.
Councillor Cross is now back.
I'm here. Is everybody else there?
I can't
Can you
hear,
hear me, Sandy?
I can hear you.
I can't hear the mayor.
I don't hear the mayor either.
I'm here.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm back. Okay, now is Councillor Maxwell there?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay. So I'm gonna need a mover and seconder for this resolution. Councillor Cross, did you move this one, please?
Yes, I can.
And Councillor Olmsted, could you second this one, please?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. So we have this resolution moved by Councillor Cross, second by Councillor Olmsted, that council, the Corporated Municipality of Calvin, approves the recommendations from the road superintendent and the acting municipal engineer to authorize staff, clerk treasurer, acting municipal engineer, and road superintendent to negotiate with the single contractor, Centennial Contracting Limited, who responded to RFP Cal 2021-02, bridges guardrail improvements, to proceed with the reduced scope project to remain within the budgeted project amount. Okay, so any discussion, anyone? Councillor Maxwell.
No discussion.
Okay, Councillor Shipham.
No discussion.
Councillor Cross.
No discussion.
And Councillor Olmsted. We got lost there.
No discussion. No discussion.
Okay, so I'm going to call for a vote on this one, that we proceed with the reduced scope. Councillor Cross, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Maxwell, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
Councillor Olmsted, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
Councillor Shipman, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. So this resolution is carried. So good luck, guys. Hope you can negotiate a good deal.
Thank you, much appreciated, and have a good evening.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you.
Next item on the, okay, we've done that one. We've done F, eh? Yeah, okay. So the next one here is G, report from the clerk treasurer. It's 2021 CT38 animal rescue from motor vehicles by firefighters. So this was in our council package. I'm hoping everybody had the opportunity to read it. And the recommendation is to change bylaw 2018-009, which is establishing a regulating bylaw for the fire departments to incorporate animal rescue as a service for the fire department. Okay. So everyone had a chance to look at this. Any discussion on that? Well, I'm going to call for a mover and a seconder on the resolution. Councillor Maxwell, can I get you to move this one, please?
Yes.
And Councillor Shipman, can you second it, please?
Yes.
Okay, so, excuse me. This resolution is moved by Councillor Maxwell, second by Councillor Shipman. That council hereby requests the clerk treasurer to proceed with the required changes to bylaw 2018-009, the establishing and regulating bylaw for the Calvin Fire Department to incorporate animal rescue from motor vehicles as a service that the fire department will provide. Any discussion? Councillor Maxwell.
No discussion.
Councillor Cross.
No discussion.
Councillor Shipham.
No discussion.
And Councillor Olmsted.
No discussion.
Okay, I'm going to call for a vote. to add this animal rescue to the fire department bylaw. Councillor Cross, do you vote yes or no to proceed
Yes.
with this?
Yes.
Councillor Maxwell, do you vote yes or no to proceed?
I do have a question. Does this include cats? Are we going to be rescuing cats in the trees? Just,
Oh,
it says animals, not dogs.
Animal, doesn't say.
mhm.
I would that any animal that's in there.
Mayor Pennell,
Yes?
this only pertains to rescuing animals out of motor vehicles.
Yes.
Yes.
This is based on information letter that was in the July 27th council meeting, and council decided to support it. In order to be able to support it, because there was e-training involved for firefighters,
Right.
we have to amend the bylaw to be able to support it, because it has to be a part of the services the fire department, provide. So it's not rescuing cats out of trees, it's just rescuing animals out of motor vehicles.
Yeah. Sure. I vote yes. Sorry, but for the out of order question.
Okay. Councillor Olmsted,
Yes.
Councillor Shipman.
Yes.
I vote yes as well. This resolution is carried. Thank you very much. Okay. Next item on the agenda is item J, and it's support for letter, a support letter for Bill C6. Okay. We had some discussion on this in our last council meeting. So we have a resolution in front of us. Councillor Maxwell, can you move this one, please?
Okay. Yes.
And Councillor Shipman, can you second it, please?
Yes.
Thank you. So we have a resolution moved by Councillor Maxwell, seconded by Councillor Shipman, whereas council considered a memo from the Secretary of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Committee regarding support for Bill C6, an act to amend the criminal code conversion therapy. Now be it resolved that council send a letter of support to be sent to all Ontario municipalities, Anthony Rota, member of Federal Parliament for Nipissing to Nipissing, and Vic Fidelli, member of Provincial Parliament for Nipissing. Any discussion on this, Councillor Olmsted?
No discussion.
Okay. Councillor Shipman
No discussion.
and Councillor Maxwell?
I wish that these types of resolutions wouldn't
Breaking
end
up.
up on I feel like we have important stuff to do running the federal government. I was just saying that I wish that these types of resolutions would not end up on our agenda, because we should be spending time running the township and doing township things and not looking after what the federal government is doing. We seem to get involved with the federal government.
It was asked to be brought forth by one of the council members at the last meeting, Councillor Maxwell.
Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. And that's how I feel about it.
Okay.
Don't get all hot-headed there.
Councillor Olmsted. I ask you, Councillor
No
Shipman.
discussion.
No,
Any ideas, any thoughts you want to bring forward, Councillor Shipman?
no discussion.
Okay, Councillor Cross?
No discussion.
Okay, so I'm going to call for a vote on this resolution. Councillor Cross, do you vote yes or no to proceed
Yes.
with this resolution?
Yes.
Thank you. Councillor Maxwell, do you vote yes or no to proceed?
Yes.
Thank you. Councillor Olmsted, do you vote yes or no to proceed?
Yes.
And Councillor Shipman, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. I vote yes as well. Thank you very much, everyone. Okay. We have a resolution, item number J, potential changes to property standards bylaw. So we have a resolution in front of us. I'll need a mover and a seconder for, and then we can discuss it. Councillor Cross, can you move this one, please?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. And Councillor Olmsted, could you second it, please?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So we have this resolution moved by Councillor Cross, seconded by Councillor Olmsted. Whereas recent concerns regarding property conditions within the municipality of Caledon have brought to light that there may be a potentially missing components from our current property standards bylaw. Be it resolved that council hereby requests the clerk treasurer to research and develop a draft property standards bylaw, which includes the exterior of the property as well. Any discussion? Councillor Olmsted.
Come to recent events, I think this is necessary.
Okay. Councillor Shipham.
I agree with recent events that we've been having in the last little bit. I think this is a necessary evil.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Maxwell.
I think that we may have tried this before in the past of putting in some kind of standards. It's always hard to enforce when we pass bylaws like this, but doing a study on it wouldn't hurt, I guess. But I think everybody needs to look in their own front yard before they start pointing the fingers at other people, because there's not only one junky yard, for lack of a better word, in the township. There's lots of unsightly things that could fall into this bylaw if we choose to be strict about it. But I think a study is worthwhile doing on it, or a report.
Oh, it's a draft, right? That's what we're requesting.
Sure. A draft.
Okay. Councillor Shipham, did I ask you already? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Councillor Cross.
I agree with drafting the report.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to call for a vote on this one. I'm just going to say something first. I think that we have to be considerate of people in the municipality and what they're doing. Residential and commercial might be different. Okay, I just want to put that out there. But I'm going to call for a vote on this resolution as it stands. Councillor Cross, do you vote yes or no to proceed with this resolution?
Yeah.
Councillor Maxwell.
Yes.
Councillor Olmsted.
Yes.
And Councillor Shipham.
Yes.
And I vote yes as well, so this resolution is also carried. Thank you very much. Okay. Next item here is Municipal of Caledon Education. There was an article here from Municipal Word, strategy, execution through objectives, and key results from the City of Vaughan. Then after that, we have information letters. Anybody have anything in the information letters that they would like to discuss? Councillor Cross.
No, I don't.
Councillor Maxwell. You're on mute, Councillor Maxwell.
I'm sorry. No, I do not have anything to discuss.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Olmsted.
I would like 7D. Could we sign up for one of these webinars? It's only 45 minutes. I was thinking how to make your message stick. So, yeah.
Red Bean?
Yes.
Do we have budget money for that training, Cindy?
remember off the top of my head. Give me one moment.
Okay. Sorry to do that to you. I took one, they came to North Bay one time down to, into Ferris at Best Western. And there was two gentlemen, and I attended one of their seminars. It was for, I don't know if it was new counselors or whatever, but anyway, I went to it. And they did a very good presentation. Two older gentlemen, a lot of joking around, telling stories, and it was entertaining, and at the same time, it was a good learning experience. So I have had an opportunity to listen to Mr. Dean, and I was quite pleased with that.
Mayor Pennell?
Yes.
The budget allotted $2,000 for council training.
Have we exceeded that?
No, I don't think so. With the only training that we've had thus far is the E4M training, and the donation by yourself, the mayor, supplemented a good portion of that. So yes, I believe there's quite a bit of room left.
Okay. I don't object to you seeking out that training, Councillor Olmsted. We could ask that of other council members as well. I'm not sure how we proceed with that, if we have to bring that back as a request to council and get everyone's approval for you to do it. I'm thinking that's how we have to go on that one.
Okay.
Okay, so can we bring that back at the next meeting for approval to attend that one of those training webinars, please?
Yes, absolutely. Are all council members interested in attending?
I see Councillor Shipman, her hand's up.
The only
Councillor
issue that sorry.
Go ahead.
The only issue that I have with attending these is they're all during a work day at lunchtime, and I'm probably not going to be able to make it.
Okay. So,
Well, there's no point if all of us can't go. Is there, the one I was interested in is learning by doing mock council meeting. So there's 3 45-minute sessions. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay, never mind then.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Councillor Shipman, is there anything in those letters that you would be interested in?
Nope, there was not.
Okay, and Councillor Cross?
No, there wasn't.
Okay. Information letters available. There are none. All the new business is on here just because we haven't updated the bylaw yet. We've already determined we'll remove that, but we need to amend the bylaw first. Next item after that is a council approval report. So there was one in our council package, and then another one was sent out this afternoon. So I need a mover and a seconder to move ahead with this one. So Councillor Shipham, can you move this one, please?
Yes, I can.
And Councillor Maxwell, could you second this one, please? Okay, I think that was a yes.
Yes, I can.
Thank you. So we have this resolution moved by Councillor Shipman, second by Councillor Maxwell.
Yes.
That the disbursement dated August the 5th,
Yes.
2021 in the amount of $49,799.86 and August the 10th in the amount of $15,173.02 be hereby authorized and passed for payment. Any discussion? Councillor Cross.
No discussion.
Councillor Maxwell.
Just that, is it possible that we could bring the two expenses together? And the first one, I don't always see the second one because today it came at 5:55, just 5 to 6. I was busy trying to get to the meeting. I couldn't even look at it. And I just think, why can't they get them on time? These expenses like we have to for the agenda, for example.
You've asked this before.
Have I? Thank you for reminding me.
I think it's because the expenses, the second one is like an update from what we received last week in our council package, but I'm not gonna, I'll let Cindy respond to that.
There's two, so that the majority of the invoices are paid, that it goes in council's council package. The second one is to try and get as many invoices paid within a timely fashion as possible. Unfortunately, the disbursements report for today came at 5:55, as you indicated. Because I had an extremely busy day because I'm here by myself. I only had time to do the AP at, between 5 and 6 o'clock. So unfortunately, that's the first opportunity that I had to be able to do the AP. So, sorry.
What are your hours of work, Cindy?
Typically, or standardly, it's 8 to 4 o'clock.
Right. Okay, noted. Did that answer your question, Councillor Maxwell?
Yeah, I just want, yes, it does. Yes. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you for getting that out to us.
Any discussion, Councillor Olmsted?
No discussion.
Councillor Shipham?
No discussion.
Okay, so I'm going to call for a vote on to accept these disbursements, authorize them rather. Councillor Cross, do you vote yes or no? Hello, Councillor Cross.
Yes.
Okay. Councillor Maxwell, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. Councillor Olmsted?
Yes.
Thank you. And Councillor Shipham?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well, so this resolution is carried as well. Thank you very much. Okay, so next item on you. I don't know what that is. I keep hearing somebody talk. I don't know if it's me or what. Next item on the agenda is number 11 is closed portion. That this portion of the meeting now be closed under the Municipal Act 2001 as per section 239(2)B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, and section 239(2)F, advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose, and for the purposes of considering confidential workplace matters under section 239(2)D, labor relations or employment negotiations regarding the administrative assistant position. Okay? So is there a resolution to move into that closed session?
Cindy has her hand up.
Mayor Pennell, there is,
Yep.
absolutely, and I can pull it up, and I am not looking to delay this any longer, but since many people are having difficulties with their internet,
Yes.
would it be better to adjourn now and maybe have another meeting tomorrow night instead, or would council like to continue? I want to make sure that everyone is able to.
I understand what you're saying, okay, and I agree with that. I'll go around and ask everyone what their thoughts are, because both items are important, and I'd like to proceed with them, and everyone have an opportunity to listen and speak their thoughts and their ideas. Councillor Cross, are you okay with closing the meeting now and then coming back tomorrow night for this closed portion?
I'm okay with continuing on, or if everybody wants to change, I'm fine either way.
Okay. Councillor Maxwell, your thoughts?
I'd like to say, I'd like to continue on. My internet is okay now, personally, so I'm good to go. Just another night, that would be another expense for another council night, and basically giving up another night, which I don't want to do that.
All right. So, Councillor Olmsted.
I'm good either way.
Okay, Councillor Shipham.
Either way, it's fine.
Okay, let's do it then. We had the opportunity to do it, so. Okay, so do we have a resolution to move into a closed portion? Thank you. So I'll need a mover and a seconder to move into a closed portion. So Councillor Cross, you vote, no, can I get you to move this one, please?
Yes.
And Councillor Olmsted, can I get you to second this one, please?
Yes.
Thank you. So we
You're
have this resolution moved by Councillor Cross, second by Councillor Olmsted, that this portion of the meeting now be closed under Municipal Act 2001, as per Section 231(2)B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, and Section 239(2)F, advice that is subject to solicitor client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose, for the purpose of considering confidential workplace matters, and under Section 239(2)D, labor relations or employee negotiations regarding the administrative assistant. Any discussion? Councillor Cross.
No discussion.
Councillor Maxwell.
No discussion.
Councillor Olmsted.
No discussion.
And Councillor Shipham.
No discussion.
Okay, I'm going to ask for a vote to move into closed portion. Councillor Cross, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
Councillor Maxwell, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
Councillor Olmsted, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
And Councillor
Yes.
Shipham, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. So this resolution is carried, and we will be moving into closed session. So you're going to stop our streaming there, Cindy, I guess?
Yes, and I would ask that Fire Chief Maxwell and Jacob leave the meeting, please.
Oh, yeah.
Good night, y'all.